Good evening. What today is Friday, August 29th, 2025. Your date for Tuesday the 2nd. All right, let's go. Well, just an FYI to those outside of the United States, my international clients, there is no trading on Monday. It's Labor Day in the States. And to everybody in the United States, happy Labor Day. Anyway, no setups going into Tuesday. Now, that's not necessarily a negative thing. I'm still seeing a lot of momentum out there, even with today's weakness. Obviously, portfolio getting whacked a bit today. These gold stocks did help, though. We'll get to that in just 1 second. Speaking of getting whacked, some of the shorts mentioned recently imploded a bit today, but let's not go short crazy just yet. There are a couple of more shorts in here tonight, but let's not go after these. Something like this, SYM, that's pretty dangerous with HV of 86. There's a couple of longs that are catching my eye. If you felt like you really had to do something and wanted to go after something super speculative, maybe this IPA, give it a fairly liberal entry, about 265 or so, and give it at least a point, maybe even more if you decide to go after that. For now, let's just sit tight. This ATAI also continues to catch my eye in here as something that could set up fairly soon. It needs a little bit more pullback, but I did want to get it on the list so you could see it. Let's take a look at the portfolio, and then let's pop out to the overall market and drill down a bit. TFPM, bam, winning. Nice little breakout to all-time highs there. So far, so good. Speaking of breaking out, KGC, bam, winning also. Make sure you trail your stops on those. KTO's consolidating a little bit. Still looks pretty good longer term, though. It hasn't touched the 30 EMA, meaning Landry Light, in a long, long time. About 100 days of Landry Light there. TGen stop it out. It still looks pretty good. I almost put it back on the Landry list. It is a little wide and loose and doesn't trade super cleanly, as we found out, but it does look like it still has potential. ABCL selling off a little bit. Honor your stops, obviously, just in case. All right, let's take a look at that market, and let's drill down a little bit. First of all, S&P 500 really didn't get hit that hard. It's kind of weird. It felt worse than it really was. Down just a little bit more of a 0.5%, which is really nothing considering how far this market has ran. But technically, you know, when you come back into a little bit of a base like this, it is a little bit of concern. So we'll have to pay attention, obviously. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ Composite, selling off fairly hard. So that is a bit of a bummer. I'd like to see it break out and not look back for a while, and then have some orderly pullbacks, obviously, along the way. Rusty 2000 really didn't get hit that hard. It looks pretty good still longer term, although I would like to see some acceleration. I hate to see one big up day and then a drift higher. I'd actually like to see a slight drift lower. This is kind of a potential bear flag, but let's not call it anything bearish just yet. But we'll keep an eye on the situation, see what happens. Cybersecurity coming back in. It was trying to take off after looking a little toppy, so now it looks a little questionable once again. Gaming coming in a little, but so far it looks pretty good longer term. Bitcoin got whacked. It's looking pretty ugly. It's beginning to push into this resistance. The spot market is looking pretty ugly too, obviously, or continues to look ugly in after hours. Take a look at gold stocks. Bam, winning, accelerating nicely to all-time highs. Gold commodity, look at that, breaking out of this range. That's looking pretty darn good too. Broker-dealer stuck in a bit of a sideways range as of late. Longer term, still in an uptrend. Biotech, kind of flatsville here, still in an uptrend, still some overhead supply. And again, on an individual basis, there are some good-looking issues still. Software stalling out a bit. I'd like to see it get above that 30 and stay there. For now, it still looks sort of toppy in here. Defense coming in a bit, but it looks pretty good. So far, just consolidating at these high levels. Nothing to get excited about just yet. Silver, bam, like gold, breaking out to new highs with a bit of a vigor. Semiconductors, a bit of a bummer. You can see on a net basis, not a whole lot of progress in a while. Kind of a minor head and shoulder top. Let's not get too excited just yet, though. For now, let's just call it a sideways range. If we do begin to break down in earnest below that 30, then all bets are off, and I might change my tune a little bit on that. Metals overall still doing pretty good, right at brand new highs. Uranium off to the races, but it came back by the end of the day. What else is happening? Pot stocks down a little, but they've been on a tear as of late. Financials actually still looking pretty good right here at brand new high. So overall, still a little mixed throughout, but overall still looking pretty good. Or let me rephrase that. Overall, still looking good, although there is some mixed action within. One cup of coffee tomorrow, Dave. Anyway, that's it for tonight. Sit tight. I think we're going to see a plethora of setups soon. My momentum list is looking pretty darn good. Lots and lots of momentum out there. We're just waiting for setups. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Happy Labor Day, and we'll talk again on Tuesday, if not sooner. And I will be checking in throughout the weekend, so feel free to hit me up on Facebook or shoot me an email if you want to keep things a little bit more private. Everybody have a great weekend again, and happy Labor Day.